some nosy people here. Well guys, I'm going to try to do a video on my front porch as an update for the Bison Workshop. And this guy here's making me wonder who the hell he is. He's done been in here 2 or 3 times. Back and forth. I think he don't know where he's going. Anyway, we're going to try to do a video if the traffic doesn't disturb me too much. And give you guys an update on what's going on with Bison Workshop. Now before I get started, I would like to say I had something happen for me today that just made my day this morning. Today I decided that I was going to go down and establish a doctor at the local clinic and get all that transferred, all my records, my surgeries and stuff like that, and to get Medicaid and stuff like that. Well, I get down there and I pull in the parking lot and I park, and when I got out I noticed this guy coming out of the clinic that was watching me. He looked at me like he knew me. So I went ahead and kept my eye on him because I didn't know what he was all about. I was watching him. That's that security side of me coming out. Anyway, no, I kind of figured he knowed or thought he knew me. But anyway, I got up to him and he walked up to me and he says, "Hey Bob." And I'm confused because I didn't know who he was. And he said, "Man, I watch a lot of your videos." I said, "Oh my God, are you kidding?" He said, "No, I watch Bison Workshop." And I said, "You're subscribed to me too?" He said, "Yep." And I said, "Man, that's so cool to come to my hometown and find somebody in my hometown that is a fan and not a foe." So I don't remember his name. I've got so much on my mind right now that if you ask me my name, sometimes I get confused. So, thank you for that. You made my day today. And I've got a good bunch of subscribers that put up with my bullshit. Now, I've got so many things that I'm doing here. Right now, I'm just taking a break. I'm trying to work on my yard and my house and my shop, and here soon maybe my truck, because I gotta find a longer yoke for the front of my drive shaft. I re-welded that before I left Winston-Salem and with the stick welder this time, and I think it's just pop metal. I think it's a form or a casting, because it didn't hold very well. It just broke loose. So, and that was on the way here going 70, 75 mile an hour the whole way. So it didn't withstand that trip. So it broke and it's still dangling on the drive shaft. So I'm going to have to find a longer yoke. If anybody out there's got a yoke, get with me. Send me a private email to bisonworkshop@gmail.com and let me know. Even a velocity joint will work. I can go that route too. I can put a velocity joint in it, and I could have put a velocity joint in it if I had the whole thing, but I didn't have all of it, all the pieces. There's a spring that goes in it and another piece, and it's a pretty complex double universal joint, velocity joint's what it's called. Even that would work. I had one on my old 79, and I wish I had that drive shaft, because I'd like to have that velocity joint off of it. and that will put my drive shaft at the correct length so that it has the same amount of travel back and forth when your springs give. But you got to remember, my truck don't give. My truck got 12 leaves under the springs and on each side. There's no give. And I'm going to tell you what, these roads are beating my truck to death. I don't like that. Yeah, I got too much in that truck to be beating it to death, man. You can't miss holes in this road. The state road here, I'm sorry to say, they suck. I've called them 3 times about this here where it floods out in my yard every time it rains heavy. And that's how I got that U-Haul stuck, because it was so soft. It shouldn't have been that soft. Not where I was at. But it just keeps flooding my driveway out. And they won't. I've done called them 3 times. They will not come. And they keep telling me they're going to send somebody out here, but they never do. They got to remember, I never leave my house. Very seldom do I leave my house, and I haven't seen them yet. So I guess I'm gonna have to get mean with them. Get Mike Bison mean. Yeah, that was awesome this morning, man. I couldn't ask for a better day than that. He started my day off good. Got me a kitty. You guys want to see my kitty? Yeah, that didn't sound good, did it? Hey, y'all want to see my kitty? There's my kitty. There's my big mean kitty. She's a character now. I haven't named her yet. But look at them markings, man. Them markings are awesome. You look at that. She is one pretty cat. I was leaning towards Punky, but I don't know if she gets lost and I gotta find her. I don't know if I want to be out there saying, "Here, Punky, Punky, Punky." Yes, there's a madness to my thought process. Anyway, we've got plenty of projects coming up. Right now I'm in that, I gotta rest. If I rested for 2 weeks solid, I don't think I'd still have enough rest to make up for what I did when I moved. I'm still not over that move, physically. Now I've got a slip disc in my back from riding a 4-wheeler. I was riding on the back of it with my cousin Randall, and he's a terrorizer on that 4-wheeler. No, I'm just kidding. No, we come up on a one of them logs across like 4 of them in a row beside each other, crisscrossing each other, and he was trying to go over them, and it just twisted the wrong way, and I didn't go the right way or something, and I slipped the disc in my back. So then I went to go weed eat me and him and his wife Shannon we went up there to the family cemetery where we buried Grandma and Grandpa, and weed eated it, and I am tore up with sugar bites all over me, man. From here down, there's almost not a place untouched where they've eat me up. That's why I had to go to the doctor today. They tore me up, man. So I got some projects coming up that for a chainsaw I want to restore a steel monster chainsaw. Randall gave it to me, and he started it up, and I'm like, geez, I must be really special for him to give me something like that. That's an expensive saw. I have a Homelite, and I've never actually had any problems out of that Homelite. But you better get off my camera. She's trying to knock you guys over. You better quit that. You knock them over, you're in their hands. I can't help you. There's more of them than me. She's a shyster now. This is what she does, but then she'll go disappear. And she'll disappear, and I can't find her either. I know where she's at, in the area that she's at, but I actually can't get an eye on her. So she's got a good hiding place. And she'll be there for about 2 hours, and then all of a sudden she'll come in and out from behind me. So she's behind my recliner somewhere. I've searched and searched and searched, and I've never put my eyes on her yet. She's a Houdini. Whodunit, that's what I'm going to be saying. Look at her. She's just into everything. A generator. You know what? Let me just go show you them. Because I don't like that. She's stealing the show. I thought about Precious, but she is precious. But I ain't all that sweet. So we got to keep up that tough man image with her. Look at her. She runs right ahead of me, man. She's even tried to get herself knocked out. She'll jump right in front of my foot while it's in full momentum going forward. And it's going to do some damage before it stops. Reflexes don't work that good. Alright, well here's the generator that we have. Yeah, I brought my trusty fly swatter. We got this Duramax Next Generation Power System XP 10,000E generator. Isn't that ironic? I leave or scrapped one that needed a motor, and I get another one that needs a motor. But this one's actually worth fixing. So he said it's got a blowed motor, but there's everything it's got, man. It's even got 240, and you got your ground, a 110 and a 110. Well, they call it 120. So we're going to try to make this a nice generator. Alright. So then I got to get that hole patched right there so that she don't get in there. Come on. Come on, Nummy. Maybe call her Nummy. Come on, Numbrain. Alright, I got the fan on in here. You got to have a fan on in here or you'll cook. So, I'm going to try to get you in focus without looking at the screen on the back and hope I got you where I want you. Here. Oh. And I shouldn't be lifting this heavy bastard. But right there, you better get used to being in here in the wintertime. Yeah, it needs a change because the teeth are just about gone. They're almost a V, so they need to be replaced a long time ago. So yeah, it'll cut, but not efficiently. But I want to restore this thing and take it all back to original. I don't think I'm gonna paint it. I might. I don't know. Just depends on how bad a shape it is. Some of them I've seen look like crap, but then you take all the dirt off of it and it almost looks like a brand new one. But I mean, I know I see some markings of aluminum, but it probably does need to be restored completely. But I want to try to get this in. All the pieces are here, the cover, the plate's missing. I guess that's where a plate was, but hell, I'll probably never use it. I can't use it. This is too big a saw. I'd have to have a wheelchair to put this on. So then we got that bench. I've already got the framing cut out for it. I might try to get on that this evening. Like I said, I'm fighting a bulging disc right now, and oh, look at the rust on that thing, man. I swear, I'm gonna have to have a dehumidifier in here, I guess. Yeah, it's too. Now I haven't cleaned this yet, and that's all this got on it. But it's just a dusting, and once you get it off, it looks pretty good. But it actually slowly starting to come back to where I'm actually noticing it now, and that means that down here is damp, and it does have a moldy smell to it, so we've got to combat that. I'm hoping that putting all this wood in here will kind of absorb some of that dampness and maybe help. No, that was even going to sound stupid. Yeah, that wood would rot, so we're going to have to put something on that, on them benches, because here's what we've got going on. I'm just putting boards up on the wall, and I'm going to do that all the way around. Now I wanted to do that clear up there, but the belt here, I misjudged it, and I wasn't going to pull all this out and re-drill and move this lathe a ½ inch. So I just put the ½ inch OSB there and then started it from wood. And I can always paint that or something and make it look good. But I mean, I don't see a problem with it now. It just makes it look like it's a shop. So I think I'm going to put one more run. I don't know, I might start a cabinet. No, I'm going to have to do one more run in order to use these. Because if I put a shelf in here coming out with a little cabinet and doors, I'd like to put 2 cabinets in here and have this the center of it. But I'm probably going to have to move this light out far enough for the doors to swing open. Unless I brought the top of it down lower like that. So I do want to put some cabinets in here, and I want to put cabinets all the way around there, all the way around there, and then put an exhaust over there. And I keep pointing you guys in the wrong direction while I'm talking. I wanted to cut that one out, but the breaker box was kind of in the way, so I'm going to have to do something fancy right there. I may have to, I actually want the vent to work, so I might cut something out here and just close it, box it in with some sheet metal and make a vent going out and have a louver on it or something. Kitty cat's trying to get stepped on. But I just got to get the other bench done, and I got to get that press upstairs. And right now we've got the bandsaw in the middle of the floor sitting on some of those water hookup boxes, or water meter box, or whatever you want to call them. I got like 4 of those. Those are heavy duty. If I could just close them bottoms off, man, they'd make really nice heavy totes. I went ahead and built this bench, and now we just done a job on my cousin's truck, put a new bumper on his truck, and that's a mess, and I have to make a new thing or bracket like this for his hitch plug, and this goes in there and then twists. So I have to take this and lay this out on here, this square hole, and then draw all this out on this black piece. And I'm trying to make it so that I can cut these corners, fold this up on both sides, and maybe do a 45 there and a 45 here, and just bend all that over to give it this same thing right here for toughness. And then we got this where we can bolt it up. So this here came out of that muffler shield that come off of the motor that was blowed on the Husky. So we're going to try to use that piece of metal, and it's got another good piece right here that I can use for another bracket. So it's always nice to have this kind of material. So that's what we're going to do when I start doing my projects. I think this is the one I'm going to start with, because I need to get that one done so I can get that Chevrolet out of my driveway. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the update on Bison Workshop. And we got the beast out there. Just had a real nice bumpy ride all the way to Clay. Everything's far away here. You have to be rich to put gas in this truck to get anywhere around here, because everything's 25 miles away. Or 57 miles away. But anyway, I'm going to show you this drive shaft, what it did. So this will update you on that, if I can get down here without hurting myself. So let me take you off the tripod, and I'll show you what happened. And inspect while we're under here, see what else is loose. Alright, you see what it did? This piece here, when I had this welded and it was working, you couldn't ask for a smoother ride as far as vibration goes. And I'm afraid that this is going to be a problem. So I need to get a velocity joint either here or on the other end. I would venture to say put it right here, put the velocity joint here. I guess it wouldn't really matter, you could put it on either side. But man, this thing's taking some rust, but it's still pretty good. I've had this exhaust system on here for let's see, I made that bracket. It's a double muffler flange holder that came off of an old fence, old iron fence, and then two clamps, and it holds them both together. I made one for the front and I made one for the back. And my other brackets for my sway bar is looking pretty good, holding up. Oh, yep. I can't even get back out. Alright. Shit. But we did get our yard cleaned up somewhat. I got a lot of raking yet to do right there. And I put that big tarp in the grass over there and burn it. See a big square? I burnt my grass. And then I got a rake over here, and I'm actually too late. I should have done that a couple days ago, because once that stuff mats down and gets wet and it rained on it, it turns into a big clump that kind of grows to the grass, and then you can't get it out. You got to have the rake. You got to work the rake to death to get it out of there. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, come say hello, whatever. And I got you in that sun again. So you guys have a good one. And remember, Bison's the place to be. See where I got my logos?